This next section deals with chords and harmony. Chords are the sounding together of 3 or more notes. A triad is a 3-note chord. Let's get back to the C major scale and build a chord on scale degrees 1, 4, and 5. The 3 most popular chords for harmony are the tonic, subdominant, and dominant. If I had to play these 3 chords in succession, it would mean my left hand would be moving all around the keyboard. There is an easier way to play these same 3 chords and make it more convenient for my left hand. Let's leave the 1 or tonic chord just as it is, C, E, G, and let's look at the subdominant chord, F, A, C. I can rearrange the order of the notes, F, A, C. Take the F, which is on the bottom, or the root of the chord, and put it on top. Now I have A, C, F. This is called the first inversion. When you invert something, you turn it upside down. I have just inverted the root position chord by putting the bottom note on top. Now let's do the same thing with the first inversion chord. Let's invert it. C, F, A. This is called the second inversion. I still have the same 3 notes, just in a different order. Remember, we're still in C major. I'm using the chord built on the 4th scale degree of C, so the Roman numeral remains 4. The first inversion is noted by a 6 by the 4, and the second inversion is noted by a 6-4 by the 4. Now let's look at the dominant or 5 chord. If I built a triad on the 5th tone of C, which is G, I have G, B, D. Now I'm going to add one more note to this triad and make it a 7 chord. 7 tones up from the root, G, is F. Now we're going to do the same thing with the 5 chord that we did with the 4 chord. We're going to invert the root position chord. Instead of G, B, D, F, we have a first inversion chord of B, D, F, G. First inversion is noted by the 6-5 by the 5. We'll now invert the first inversion by putting the B on top. The second inversion is noted by the 4-3 by the 5. Since this is a 4-note chord, we have one more inversion to make. Put the D on top, and we have the third inversion, noted by the 4-2 by the 5. Now, in going back to our original chord progression, let's leave the 1 chord as it is and use the second inversion of the 4 chord and the first inversion of the 5 chord. I have a chord progression now that is very close. All I have to do is move my fingers instead of my whole hand back and forth. Now let's do the same chord progression in the key of F. Let's build chords on 1, 4, and 5. Keep in mind there is 1 flat in F major. Be sure to flat all the B's. Keep the 1 chord in root position. Use the second inversion of the 4 chord. Use the first inversion of the 5-7 chord, and you have the same chord progression in the key of F major. I could take the same chord progression and plug it into any key that I know, and I would have transposed the same chord progression from one key to another. Transposing comes in handy if you're accompanying a singer and the key and the piece is in is either too high or too low for that person's voice. You can take the melody and the chords in the original piece and play everything either up or down the correct interval required. This takes a complete knowledge of the keys involved, but it can be done. This is an example of the same melody transposed to 3 different keys. Now would be a good time to visit your local sheet music store and buy a scale book complete with majors, minors, and chord progressions. Also, pick out a beginning level piano solo book of whatever style of music you like, classical, jazz, blues, popular, whatever, but keep on playing. Now that you understand some of the basics, I hope you will explore the avenues taken by people on their way to becoming musicians. Take private lessons or enroll in a music history class at your local college. Don't stop with the basics. Build on your knowledge. It's up to you how far you can take yourself. Thank you.